Hello, hope you're doing well. You never know how to start these things. Hello, I guess is as good as anything. Hello. Uh, Thanks for tuning into this. I have, since the beginning of the year, I've been trying to just share some thoughts or ideas about things that have helped me in my own devotional life. I haven't always been the best at this. It's not always been great, but over the last few years, God has just done some things in my own life and the life of our family that I think are meaningful. So today, I want to talk to you about an idea. It's still early in the year. This might be something you implement. We began several years ago, we began having a family meeting at the beginning of the year. All of the children, grandchildren, everybody coming together as a time to talk about what God has done in our lives in the past, look forward to what God had for us in the future, and then to pray together, to pray for one another, to encourage one another, really to have a time of prayer. We have kept notes on that, and then it's been interesting as we've come back the next year to say, oh man, yeah, and you remember John Michael prayed about this, and God has answered that prayer. Isn't that a neat thing? It's been such a learning lesson, learning opportunity for the grandkids, and shoot, it's been a learning lesson for the old kids as well to say, boy, God really does answer prayer. So I just wanted to encourage you with that little thought, that little idea. Early in the year, we will have what we call family prayer meeting. The grandkids even ask now, Poppy C, when are we going to have our family prayer meeting? We usually do something like this. We begin with a brief little prayer, and then we'll talk about what has God, we'll go around the room and say, what has God laid on your heart for last year? What did he do? What have you seen God do? And you know, it's just fun to hear the grandkids talk about that, and for all of us talk about here's what God did. I often, it's not a unique idea to us, but I often will ask them, has God given you a word? I'll never forget, I think it was last year that Josh said discipline, Doris said encouragement, those kinds of words. Jackson, who was about 8 at the time, Jackson said something like scutafrishamine. He just said, yeah, that was the word, scutafrishamine. That was the word that God gave him. I have no idea what that means, but God will give you a word. So we have a word, and then we talk about what God has in store for us in the coming year. By the way, this is not something that I lead. We all share in this together, and the youngest grandchild to the old grandpa, we all have a part in this. And then we begin, and then we end that time by really praying together, praying God's blessing on our family, praying God's direction for the days ahead, praying God's understanding of what we are facing and how we can know what God wants us to do and all that. It's been a great exercise for us, and probably for 4 or 5 years now we've done that. I encourage you to think about that, a family prayer meeting early in the year. Bring your family together, pray together, and see how God blesses you. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for listening.